The truth occurs.
Hi everyone, it's Sonia here. Well, I wanted to give you an update on my experience of achieving 3 months of sobriety using a 12-step program. This is me when I was 20, 21, right before I went to rehab. I remember when I'd been in rehab when I was 21, I remember this guy read this poem about what it was like to be sober, and I remember him saying, I wake in the morning with peace on my chest after a night of peaceful rest. I didn't get sober right after I left rehab, but I did a few years later. And I remember every day waking up with that peace and thinking, well, thank God, now I have peace. I sleep well, I wake up, I feel peace when I wake up. Like, I remember this, and I remember thinking about the poem the guy wrote, like when I was in rehab. I felt like I was psychologically bulletproof, like I was not even susceptible to stress, and anything negative would just bounce off me. But then when my son was about 5, it was like something started to change in me. Around this time, my son, who is autistic, started having a lot of behavioral problems.
You're gonna fall. Get down. Don't run away.
And I don't want to blame it on that.
Way.
But
Gunner!
it's around this time that I started to lose my serenity. First of all, I lost that peace. I started to wake up feeling anxious. And I just felt like more and more like it was getting harder to concentrate. It was harder to get motivated. Everything just seemed like more effort. And everything that was negative would just like affect me more. And I was like less and less able to enjoy things. I remember when my son was 6, like this was at a really, really hard time in my life. I think I was like at the lowest point. I would wake up smelling burning. Like I think it was my brain that was burning. I was at this like super low point, and I just tried everything I could to pull myself out. I changed my diet. I went on a fitness quest and lost a bunch of weight. I got into weight training at one point. I got more involved with my church. I got into rabbits. I tried all kinds of herbs. I tried other herbs. I went on HRT. I went on vacation. I went on vacation with my son. I tried to take selfies by the pool. I got my teeth fixed. I got facials. I got massages. I even found a shell.
Oh, look, I found a shell!
But I did not find my serenity. And then I realized there was only one thing left to do. Join a 12-step program. So that's what I did. I just think there's just something wrong with me. I don't know what it is, but whatever it is, like nothing seems to fix it. One thing I noticed though was regardless of what the cause of it is, the meetings, just going to the meeting seems to have an effect. I went to a meeting on Wednesday and then I didn't go to another one until Sunday night. Usually I go to like Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, something like every couple days. I didn't go because I was super busy. I just had a ton of stuff to do. And I felt so bad by Sunday. I felt like really like, oh my God, horrible. Like depression-wise. I felt completely poisoned with depression. And I felt like it was like a poison running through my veins. So I went to a meeting and I was really surprised. I felt better, like right away. So the meeting, it's not just about like going and meeting with people and just hanging out, having coffee and passing your time. There's something that really happens there. I'm starting to think that it has something to do with activating your parasympathetic nervous system and like bringing down your stress. Or it could be some just vibrational stuff. I find that what's happening in the meetings, it's something metaphysical actually. We're trying to like tap into something metaphysical to like send us into an upward spiral instead of like going down. Like the depression that I have, it's real enough, but I don't want it to ruin my life. And I know that nothing is going to make me feel better. Like I can't remedy this. I've tried everything. I can't vacation or working out or whatever, like nothing's gonna fix this. I have some kind of really bad depressive disorder that I've had for probably a really long time. It's kind of been on and off. It's been really bad for the last few years. I couldn't really figure out why I suddenly developed this to this point, and it seems like the depressive disorder makes me susceptible to stress. So like the more I try to push through the stress, the worse it gets. Because the stress seems to trigger it, but it also makes me susceptible to the stress. Anyway, so what do you do to break this cycle? So I'm doing these meetings, and somebody showed me this, because I said, wow, yeah, I felt really better after the meeting. and they showed me this. Okay, see, this is like it's from emotional vibration chart. And it's like all the emotions have different vibrational frequencies. Like these ones being at the lowest, and these being at the highest. And obviously, you want to be full of things like peace, joy, and love. You know, that would be the goal. I don't know about enlightenment, if anybody gets to that point, but you would want to be experiencing those higher frequencies. Is that once you get into those higher frequencies, I think it keeps it going upward. And as you go down, see, these are the things that you want to let go of when you come into 12-step program. Like all those negative things. Like 7 deadly sins right there. So why did they say they're deadly? Maybe they're literally deadly on like actually this vibrational level. So depression, the illness, actually it's maybe it starts as like a physical feeling, just a bad feeling, but it then generates these kinds of emotions. So that like lower your vibration and send you back down. But somehow going into the meetings, you start feeling some of those and it sends you back up. That's what I'm finding. So I see that there's something very like real going on with these meetings and with the process of the 12 steps that really has to do with changing your vibration, basically. That's what I think. Like what you're putting out is going to affect what you get back. I mean, the Bible talks about this. Why do you think like being angry at someone is the same as killing them? I mean, it's not legally, but on a vibrational level it is. Or looking at a woman with lust in your eyes is the same as sleeping with her. Not physically, but on a vibrational level probably is. Why are those deadly sins deadly? You know, because you can feel them. Like what if you keep your anger, lust, or whatever else? What if you keep those things inside? Are they then not deadly sins because you didn't act on them? Oh, apparently not, because it's those things themselves: the anger, the pride, the lust, the greed. What else? Sloth, gluttony. It's those things themselves that are deadly. You know what I'm saying? So the way I'm defining myself being an addict is being a person who feels like crap. Like naturally. At least nowadays. I mean, I have a horrible problem with depression. That's the truth. And I have to do something about it. I don't want to take pills. I don't think they work. And obviously self-medicating isn't the answer either. So lucky for me, I get to be a drug addict. So I get to go to these meetings and I get to work on this stuff. But I do understand this, and I think that something like this is what's going on in the program. Okay, that's just my take on it. Like, the program doesn't say anything about vibrations and stuff. It says about God. Like, you're just turning your life over to God, and then you're supposed to, like, lose your defects of character, obviously, exactly like on the chart. Moving away from these things and moving up into this. But along with that comes, like, a peace and order in your life. Anyway, that's what I'm trying to do, is get into, like, a good vibrational state, or spiritual state. You called that spiritual. Yeah, I mean, you can just replace the word vibration for spiritual. And that's what I'm talking about. From a negative spiritual stuff to positive spiritual stuff. I find my anxiety is down. I don't have like so much trouble like just dealing with individual things. Although I still feel depressed and I feel like tired and like everything's a big effort. I don't know if that's gonna change or what. Actually, I think that some of my issues are definitely related directly to my autism. So I have a bit of an issue with that, as in like, do you mean to say this program is gonna make me not be autistic anymore? Although depression and anxiety are not symptoms of autism itself, but they're like things that tend to come out of being autistic. So I'm not sure. I don't think this program is going to make me not be autistic anymore. But maybe as an autistic person, I need extra help dealing with stuff like depression, anxiety, and compulsive behavior, and whatever. Anyway, that's where it's at right now. 3 months. Actually, 3 months was like a couple weeks ago. And that's where it's at. And I hope that's useful to you. Thanks for listening to me. And I'll see you next time.